Previously. Hey everybody, and welcome back to Terraria. Now, when we last left off, we went about killing some bosses and getting their trophies. We do have a fair amount of those now, don't we? In here, look at all these things. So many. And we also managed to get lots of resources from the jungle. I think we went digging up, and our iron is only like 45 bars. We've got 400 odd ore that we can transform anytime we need to. Now, since we left off, I've been very, very busy off camera, and have a look at how many souls of light I have. If I open the correct chest, this one, 199, and it didn't take that long at all. It took about half an hour. If I head over there, the what was it called? The grinder I built in the dungeon, which was mainly to get ectoplasm. Is served me well because it now gives me also souls of light with the area becoming hallowed. So what I've done is I've actually improved the grinder area, and it is completely amazing now. Even though the enemies are incredibly strong, I can completely go AFK. I can just sit in the grinder and disappear for ages. So what I did was, once I'd finished building it, which took a fair amount of time because I hate building stuff in that dungeon because you have to turn off all your traps and stuff to do that, otherwise you get injured. But that means you get constantly swarmed by the enemies. So I was getting constantly beaten down. I don't think I died, but it was a pain that I'd have to run away and recover every so often. So I've improved it greatly, and it's now, completely AFK. So what I did was, once it was done, I sat in there, set all these traps off, and then I went away and I watched YouTube for about an hour. Came back and I had 199 souls awaiting me. So as we head down, I'll just show you briefly. Not too many changes on the right side. It's the left hand side that has the most changes. Oh, so you remember this bridge here, and oh crap, I'm getting annihilated. So what I did was this is all lumpy area down here, so I flattened it out into one completely flat area, look, for them to run down, completely filled with lava, so they're constantly getting barraged. But it means they have nowhere to spawn, so I created these here, look. Each of these allows the enemy somewhere to spawn, so they can spawn on each of those. Shame there's a background wall missing there, it means someone can spawn on those little particular spots. But look, all of these things enemies will spawn on and then just run off through the lava to get to me. Like that guy. Now you remember these bridges? They were to entice the enemy to stand on them. Then they would disappear and fall into the lava. Mainly the wizards, because the wizards were the ones who would hit me from range, hit me through the walls. So the way it works now is similarly, the wizards will spawn on here, then fall into the lava. But I had it rigged up so that enemies would constantly hit pressure plates and turn it on and off and on and off. But I was finding that it just wasn't working as well as I'd hoped, and enemies were standing on this for a lot longer than I wanted. So I've changed it so that it's wired to a switch now, and a 1 second timer, so every 1 second these things will flick on and off. Alright, so let me just turn this trap on and show you what's going to happen. There'll be spiky balls falling from the ceiling, and speed traps. And also, why is that not working? This isn't working for some reason. That's bizarre. I must have cut a wire by accident when I came back. But this should be flickering on and off. I will fix this, because I'm not sure why. Oh, was it two separate ones? Yeah, it's this one. There we go. Two separate switches for some reason. There, you see that? Look, they can't go anywhere. They just fall straight into the lava. They can't escape from it. Yes, I'm just an idiot, and for some reason I've wired this entire thing up to 2 switches, even though it's easily doable with 1. So you can see on the left and the right the bridges blinking in and out of existence. And this just works so well, so I left this for like an hour. came back, had so many souls. It's also restocked my amount of bones that I had, because we went through so many, creating those Skeletron Prime summoning items, the suspicious looking skulls. So I'm going to turn this off, because, well, I don't want to be here anymore. And we'll swoop down, pick up this treasure. Also good for getting ectoplasm, which is something I did want. Oh, Bone Lee, get away. He is an absolute pain. Ectoplasm is why I originally created this, because we wanted lots of it for some armor that we were crafting, and also for, let's get out, oh, there's a potion, and also for the Pumpkin Moon event. Yes, wanted it to create the Pumpkin Medallion. That's the item. Alright, I'm going to quickly pop away whatever I've picked up, which shouldn't be too much. Just Souls of Light and some bones, I imagine. So where's the monster drop chest? There it is. Inventory is nice and clear. Yes, so the other change I've made is the arena has gone through yet another revision. So when I watch these videos back, I learn from them. I learn from the fights. So when I was editing, I noticed mainly, you know the twins? There's the Retinazor and Spasmatism. Spasmatism is the flamethrower one. He's a pain, mainly because, well, there's two reasons why he's a pain. Number one, I have discovered that he stays at range, which meant he was just out of reach of all the spear traps. So I've added an extra 14, yeah, I've added an extra 14 spear traps to my arena along the top row. That's 7 on each end, which just about covers the area that he goes to. So if we jump here, you can see that this comes out even further than before by 7. So this extends a further area than what he was in. So it should hit him even if I'm in the middle. Now you can see in the middle I've changed this somewhat as well. Well, I had this roof on, if you remember, and that was bad. I don't know why I ever built it. I think it's just because it looked nice, but it prevented drops from landing on me. So all the enemies' hearts and stuff would land on the roof and not on me. So with that gone, they'll land on me. Now, the heart statues are positioned right next to me, so they will keep filling me directly. I've also wired them to different wires. Before they were on red, so they would both spit out constantly. Now this is on a blue wire, and this is on a green wire, so they spit out them every so often, so it gives me a bit better regeneration rate in terms of depending on whether I'm full or not. Now also, this brick here, and on the other side this brick here, are amazing. Basically, by having that brick there, it prevents Spasmatism from hitting me with his flamethrower. He won't even cast it because he just has no line of sight on me. Now the flamethrower is a pain, not because of how damaging it is, but it can cause the Cursed Inferno debuff. Now what the Cursed Inferno debuff does, it prevents all regeneration. So these statues, these heart statues, these heart lamps, the campfires, the honey, my regenerating items, none of this works when I've got Cursed Inferno. So by having these here, it just stops that from happening completely. But what I've done is I wish I brought a wrench with me. I rerouted the red wire slightly to go on the outside edge rather than the inside edge, which allows me to now put this pressure plate here, so I can turn off and on this brick, allowing for quick and easy access in and out. You see? So there's no more of, because look, I can't get in. So with this, it just means that I can get in and out, and it's not an issue. That's good. I've also replaced the honey back into the middle. Now for the Pumpkin Moon, I will remove this honey because I need the mobility. It slows me down so much. But for bosses and stuff in general, it's best to have it. That way I don't need to run into the corners to get the honey buff. Yes, I've still got my teleporter here working. I was considering moving this heart lantern up and having it here, but there's no middle because this is 3 blocks and the heart statues are 2. There's no middle to it, so it just looks awkward having it off to one side. If I had another heart statue, I would put them on top of each other, so 2 on this side, 2 on this side, but I don't. So fingers crossed we find another heart statue, and that is how this has been improved, and it is so much better now. So much better. Whoa, calm down. Right, let's go home, because I do have some stuff to do. I've got another map. I've got a chest full of these now. Let's just throw them away. They're not worth selling. I would use them to get the money out of them, but look, I've just got all of this. Right, where's the chest for that? There we go. And some rotten chunks can go up here. Right, so there is an item I want to create for the future for helping me when I'm in my arena. Now, we've rendered Spasmatism pretty much useless, but Skeletron can still damage us. I think I've got it to the point where he can't kill us, but repeated attacks along with other enemies may ruin us. So I've decided to craft up an item. Now, you may remember me mentioning in previous episodes something called invincibility frames. Now, what this means is, if I just take some of this and place them, let's just place them out here. If I'm stood on here, look, you see how I take damage every so often. It's not constant. There's 2/3 of a second. That's 2/3 of a second in between each damage. Now you can change that. You can make it longer. You can increase your invincibility frames with a cross necklace. So I just want you to. You'll hear the difference. So bear this in mind. 2/3 of a second. And then with this equipped, it doubles it, so 1 1/3 of a second. You hear that difference? That means I will be taking less damage from enemies with the cross necklace equipped. Now, there is a cheaty method. I consider it cheaty. You can do this if you want to. I'm going to explain it, so if you want to do it, you can, but I'm not going to. I've put enough effort into this arena that I don't want to devalue it by doing a cheap exploit. But what you can do is these spikes here do 1 damage, as you can see. So if I equip this necklace and I stand on these spikes, now what would happen if these spikes were to be in my arena and I was constantly taking damage? Yeah, I would only take 1 damage from the spikes constantly, and the enemies wouldn't hit me. Because I'm constantly taking damage from this instead, the enemies don't do any damage to me, or will very, very rarely do damage to me. So it would be a way to survive pumpkin moons and things like that. But I think it just devalues my arena by having something so cheap in it. If you want to do this, go ahead. I'm not going to mock you or anything for doing that. It's just, we've put like 140 odd episodes into making this the best world possible. Why ruin it with something like that now? So anyway, we can further improve this cross necklace by combining it with a star cloak. So the star cloak, what that does is every time you take damage, stars fall out the sky and injure the enemies. Now the stars themselves don't do that much damage. They do about 30 damage each, and there's about 4 of them that fall. So say maybe 120 damage. And yeah, but why not? If we can combine them together, why not combine them together? It will only help. So, tinker table up, it becomes the Star Veil. Causes stars to fall and increases length of invincibility after taking damage. Once again, that is the Star Cloak and the Cross Necklace. Now, sadly, you cannot, I think you used to be able to, but you cannot anymore, stack the Cross Necklace and the Star Veil. So I couldn't equip the Star Veil and the Cross Necklace and then double and then redouble the amount of time that I can stay invincible for. It doesn't work. I did some tests off camera and it doesn't work. So anyway, we have this Star Necklace. So let's take some cash money. I don't know how much this is going to need. We'll take 2 platinum and see if we can get that up to warding. Does mean a little bit of a wander across here and up to here. Teged, sadly no longer Dalek. 22 gold, that's expensive. Come on. Plus 3 defense. Ugh. I'm out of money. Oh, these things now are getting so expensive to do. I'm still really annoyed with myself for ruining the, whatever it was. What was it called? The Celestial Stone when I had plus 4 defense on it, and I cancelled it and intended something else. Come on, please, Teged, do this for me. Just for me. Please. I hate you. I hate you so much, Teged. Dalek was so much better than you were.